Yesterday was a very big day for the media. We had a great encounter with the president. Questions were asking from Galamsey to our safety as a people in the country and many other issues. Now, you've been talking about them, even though it was yesterday. We still find a need to throw in one that became very pressing. Yes, are we safe as a country is a question that journalists from the multimedia group Adum FM, to be precise, Efia Pokuah posed to the president when she had a turn to ask him a question. So let's see Efia Pokuah asking the president how safe we are as Ghanaians in this country.
Your opponents have been making comments, criticisms against you in the last few months. And they say that since you assumed office, your government has been characterized by anarchy, chaos, and lawlessness. They cite a couple of issues. One of them is the Delta Force issue. They go beyond that and they cite Captain Major Mohammed's death is killing as another example. Fast track and come forward, they come to cite other examples about internal wrangling, even the selection in your own party. I want to ask you, and one other example that they cite, which a member of your own government, Honorable Amewu, has confirmed to us that his office was bugged. There's confusion about the bugging of the office. We've had cause to question whether this office we are sitting in is bugged or not, and whether we are safe here or not. Mr. President, my question to you is, are we safe as a people? Are you safe in this office, Flagstaff House, as the President of this Republic? Are we safe?
As far as being safe, you have to ask Husseini, Inusa Husseini, whether we are safe. If you want an example of anarchy, that's it. Or is it being suggested that I got him to do it, or what? I don't understand how that becomes an issue of anarchy or chaos. I think that some of the things that have happened are unfortunate. I'll be the first to recognize that the Delta and the Invisible Forces episode was unfortunate. I believe that they've been brought under control. I think that they themselves understand where they are within the framework of things. A lot of it has to be with expectations that perhaps with the election immediately there'll be jobs, etc. But I think realism is beginning to come into play, and they're beginning now to settle down. The legal processes are also going on. I also think that the growing awareness that I am determined to take politics out of criminal behavior is also beginning to have its impact. The death of Major Muhammad, that one is something that none of us can find any proper justification for. But the picture that is being painted, yes, I understand the politics of that picture. It's interesting, it's in the interest of the opposition to give this image that somehow things are not going right, things are breaking down. But I don't believe that it corresponds to the reality of what's going on in our country. I think that the conditions of Ghana are strong, the stability in our country is there, the interests of people and what's going on in our country is very strong. Investor confidence, both inside and outside the country, is growing because they recognize that the general atmosphere is there. It takes me to the internal wrangling in the MPP. That's as old as man. I mean, MPP without wrangling would be...
And that is a response from the president claiming that we are safe in the country. And Efia Pokuah is the editor of Adum FM's news, and she asked the question if we are safe. So we posed the question on our social media page. Are we safe as a country? Are you safe? Do you feel safe as Ghanaian under the administration of Nana Akufo-Addo? Let's hear what you've been saying. And X-Brain says, we are never safe in this country. If those who are responsible for protecting this nation are being killed, then we need to think twice as a nation. I think more attention should be given to our security agencies. And Johnson says, yes, indeed, Mr. President's response was well and okay, but I didn't like the answer to Efia Pokuah Pokua's questions that we should ask Inusa the security. This is security we are talking about. And Sechiama says, indeed, we are not safe at all. Tell me how many public offices and vehicles have been bagged. And when armed robbers begin to open firearms in broad daylight and kill policemen meant to protect and ensure our safety, then we are not safe at all. And Debson says, response to the press unsatisfactory and weak. Okay, dodgy. You say it's dodgy to you. And UDS says, I really like her question, but with the 419 backdoor president, he couldn't answer it. What a shame. Ghana is bleeding, you were saying. And Awara GH says, thank you, Mr. President. Indeed, you're the kind of president we need. Nana Addo Dankwa is the best president in Ghana. He understood our problems. And for me, multimedia group guy, Kaba, Captain Smart and Vim Lady asked good questions, but the answers, Dupe says, oh no, I don't trust this president. And Ratio says, nice response, best answer ever. And Francis says, my only president, this one is not come again. First person to comment. Okay, that's what you're saying. And that was the perfect answer to her question. Really? And you were also laughing, Eric Asante. So the comments from you on the question posed by multimedia journalist Efia Pokua to the president, asking if we are safe as a country with all the wrangling going on around us. But a lot of conversation has been generated on social media. We hear also that the former Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Inusa Fuseni, who claimed that he placed a recording device in the office of the now Minister, John Peter Amewu, has responded, and let's see that on your screens. And we hear this is his response. We're just waiting to see if that is true, unconfirmed. We know we are told that this is the response from Inusa Fuseni. So it's like you have to ask Inusa Fuseni whether we are safe. And that's from President Nana Akufo-Addo. And Inusa Fuseni's response is, I am waiting for my appointment as the President's security advisor. Well, let's say it's on a lighter note. We posted this as well on Facebook. Let's see what you've been saying about this response purported to be that of the former minister, Inusa Fuseni. Now, Inkrabia says, well said, Nana. We have asked him whether we are safe or not. Seems he knows how to plant devices in other offices. NPP have to be very careful handling anything that the NDC has touched. And Kuma says he has that appointment already. How on earth could he have bagged his office? Or was he a security advisor to himself? Okwe Francis says, what the president meant is that we Ghanaians should stop this bad behavior as campaign. And Salifu says, very excellent, because the president had no answer to those questions. Rita says, good response. And Edukra can't help but laugh. And nice one, my honorable, says Adams. And GH politicians are very funny, too bad. And Clubback Papa says, I'm a GH. And Minta says a sarcasm. And Maestro, let's see some more comments on the screen. Maestro says, Inusa shows maturity by not jabbing the president. And 1-1 draw. On point says God's way. So your reactions to a comment purported to be that of the former minister Inusa Fuseni, who came under heavy criticism after he revealed that he actually placed some security device in his office, and that was noticed by the minister now, John Peter Amewu. Now, have you ever imagined a parliament meets the press program? How about a similar one with the judiciary? Well, over the years, the executive has been rendering accounts of their performance to the media via the Meet the Press series. Now, there are calls for the legislature and judiciary to do same. Do you agree with that call? That's what we are asking you. We posted this on social media. Let's read your comments. Yaima says, I think it's a good idea that should be welcomed by, because parliamentarians are the ones who are talking a lot with big English, especially with the minority, Onapo. And that's a brilliant call, but the Parliament and judiciary will never agree to honor this call because of the rampant bribery and corruption that is going on in their institution. That will be a better opportunity to grill the other arms of government, but sadly, they will say no to the call. And okay, so all these meets the press thing. What's the rationale behind it? And what do you make of some of the questions, nasty questions saying we see people in camouflage, next day suit? Okay, I don't understand what you're saying. Waku just said this is totally out of place, I think, and will overburden the public purse more. And Yeboah Solomon says, yes, I agree 100%, especially Parliament, because we are citizens of Ghana, sent them there to work on our behalf. And it's a great call, but the question is, will the legislature bow to this laudable idea? So those are responses from you concerning the call for a press interaction with the other arms of government, the legislature and the judiciary. Now, before we go to our next issue, we have been asking you your impression about the presser with the president. You think that it went well? What do you make of the questions that were asked the president? Let's hear what you've been telling us.
It's been pretty slow, but it's kind of steady. We're hoping that things is going to get better because I believe they're putting measures in place and it's going to work.
Okay, 6 months in office is to me, I haven't seen anything yet, and we're still hoping. He's the president of the country, so we're praying that things will work out actually well. He promised to reduce tariffs, and tariffs are still standing, and things are just going up and down. And we are praying and we are hoping that he will work things out well.
Yeah, I think for the first 6 months, he's doing well because I think right now the country is a bit stabilized now. And I think we should give him more time because he really has a lot to do.
Oh, well, I think the president has done well.
I think the president spoke concerning quite a number of issues. One of the most topical issues that he made mention of has to do with the one district, one factory policy that his government intends to implement. From a question I heard, Nana Anamwa, the host of GH1 program, State of Affairs, asked him. He couldn't really give enough explanation to the issues, being how he intends to probably facilitate the smooth running of the policy, the kind of initiatives that he's putting in place to ensure that those policies in your benefit to the ordinary Ghanaian.
Let me bring Nathaniel into the conversation briefly. Nat, when I caught you, you said that the area of interest for you was on Galamsey or illegal mining. From the president's address, do you think his assessment of his stewardship so far, at least concerning that area, were you impressed with his statement?
Yes, I did, because I'm extremely happy with the way the president has been able to handle the issue of Galamsey, because, as I said earlier on, that successive government or previous government, they have laid the tools, but they have not been able to fight against it. I think on that note, the president has done very well on the issue of Galamsey.
Okay. Maxwell, what about you? Would you say the president has done very well? Nat, if you could just sit back a little.
Thank you very much. And the president has really done well, but we are looking at the instance where we have evidence based on what he has started showing, some of the policies. In the area of the stimulus package that he had given, I think it's a good initiative that will revitalize most of our companies that probably could not stand on its own. Another issue that I'm really bothered with has to do with graduate unemployment. A lot of people are there. So basically, the National Youth Employment, or the initiative that he has taken for students to come out or graduates to come out with policies or projects that they can undertake that will also assist to enumerate or reduce the unemployment rate.
Now, those were your reactions after the president met the press yesterday. Definitely, it was handled yesterday, so we're not reading any comments now. But we're taking a short break. We are back here to discuss something about technology. You know, it's interactive and we use our mobile phones to interact. Technology is fast rising with a new initiative, you know, appearing every now and then. We get to learn something new today on Joy News Interactive. Please stay because I have a guest for you. Now, welcome back from the break. And before we took a break, I told you we were going to be talking about something beautiful about technologies. Once you use a mobile phone, you use a laptop and all of that, that means that you're technologically inclined. And today we are learning something about near-field communication, NFC for short. This is an important way you can use your mobile phones, computers, and other technological devices. Unfortunately, most of us do not know what this is or how we can apply it. It's to make life easier. And Kwabena Nkrumah Spiky, we call him here Spiky, is a tech gig here at Multimedia Group and is here to teach us something. Spiky, hi. Welcome to Joy News Interactive.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so I trust that we are going to learn something fantastic.
Yes.
NFC.
NFC.
I've never heard that.
Yes, a lot of people have it on their phones, TVs, even smartwatches have NFC.
Really?
But people don't use it. In our part of the world, we don't even use it as much as they use it elsewhere because people use it to make payments online. I mean, not online, like in shops. So you scan your credit cards, you load your credit card, so you get to a shop and you buy something, you just tap your phone on the point of sale device and you've paid. So you don't need to have your cards on you.
Oh, really?
Also, you can also use it to transfer information from one phone to the other. You can use it to connect to your TV. So you get home, you have your favorite shows.
Is it an inbuilt app or you need to download this app?
It's a device. It's a feature that's built into the phone. Yes.
Okay.
So it's like an RFID chip, radio frequency interface device, blah, blah.
So every phone has it?
Not every phone. The latest phones from, let's say, 2006 to about now, they have it. iPhones
have those phones.
Yeah, most people have some of the latest phones now. iPhones have it, but they're only for payment. But with Android phones and some of the Windows phones, you can use a file transfer and, you know, feature transfer, if I should put it that way.
Okay, so we need a demonstration to understand what this is. So you can transfer information from one phone to the other.
Yes.
So is it just from one phone to the other, meaning your phone to another person's phone?
Yes.
Okay.
You have this phone.
Okay.
So I'm looking at this website, and I'm finding it interesting. You also you want to be able to access it. So I say, okay, you know what? Just touch the back of your phone with mine. I touch Beam, and then like this, and then so I touch Beam, and then it'll come straight.
Okay, so I have it on my phone, and that's it. So you can see it's as easy as that.
As easy as that. It happens it works with applications. So let's say I'm playing a game, Words with Friends, and then I want to share the game with you.
So we
touch again, and then it gives a small vibration. I tap to Beam, and then it's sent to you.
It's sent to me, and that's true. So let's see, the game is...
so it's going to open the Play Store.
The Play Store?
Yes, for you to download the application.
Okay.
Yeah, because you don't have it.
Okay, that's true. So it's open the Play Store. So if I want this game, all I do is just download it or install it and I get it.
Yes.
So is that easy? How come we never knew about this?
Because most of the time, you know, these phone companies, they launch the phones with so many features and they can't teach people all these features. For instance, I discovered some of these features while, you know, toying with my phone gradually, and I realized, oh, so I can do this, so I can do that. But how many people use their phone for more than
phone calls and text messages? So if I have a phone right now in the house and I want to test what you have just done, how do I locate my NFC?
So you drop from your notification bar and then you look for the NFC logo.
Okay, so there's even an NFC logo just there when you go on your notification. If you can zoom,
switch.
Let's zoom to see this. And just there, you see it up there. It's an N-like letter up there. You have NFC there. And then what do you do when you see that?
So Sometimes it's a switch actually, so you can either turn it on
or off.
So sometimes it's off.
So
That's
is it on now?
So it's on now.
So when it's on, it's green or blue. Sorry.
Depending on the phone.
Depending on the phone,
yes.
but it needs to show a color when it's on.
It's when it's on.
And then when you put it on, it means that it's active.
Exactly.
And then you can transfer anything. Somebody said, do I have to use data?
No. This doesn't even use data. It doesn't even use. It just creates a small, connection between the devices and then transfers.
Approximately how far can the person be?
That's why it's called near field.
Okay, so you need to be very close.
So it also makes it very secure, because then someone cannot just take your information from you. Although there are hackers who've devised ways, and then you're walking and the person just touches and then they can get some stuff. But I mean, it's a rare instance. A
very rare instance. Thank you, Spiky, for coming through. I know you've learned something new. NFC, it's called, and you can definitely transfer information with a colleague, a friend, from your phone to another phone, from your phone to a laptop, a computer. Try it at home and let's know what you make of it. That'll be it for Joy News Interactive today. My name is Ms. G, your entertainment general. I'll be back later in the evening with entertainment news on Joy News Prime. Please stay with us. There's more on the Joy News channel.